In the 1980s, the American car scene underwent a remarkable transformation. With the aftermath of the 1970s fuel crisis and new environmental regulations, car manufacturers shifted their focus towards smaller, more fuel-efficient vehicles. However, amidst this wave of change, a distinct niche emerged in the market, one of luxury and cutting-edge technology. Brands like Cadillac and Lincoln led the charge, offering cars that were not just means of transportation, but symbols of opulence and prestige. These vehicles boasted premium features and carried hefty price tags, making them coveted possessions among the wealthy. Today, we'll delve into the realm of the most extravagantly priced cars of the 1980s, exploring their allure and impact on automotive history. Top on our list is the 1985 Buick Electra Park Avenue. The Buick Electra, a fancy car made from 1959 to 1990, went through 6 different versions over the years. In the 1980s, they called the fanciest one the Park Avenue. You could get this special version as both a co-op and a sedan. The Park Avenue Electras offered various powertrain options and distinctive front-end designs, setting them apart from other versions. Inside, they boasted luxurious features like fancy leather seats and abundant folk wood accents, establishing them as the pinnacle of luxury within the Electra lineup. With a current price of $41,400, equivalent to $15,752 in 1985, they represented a premium choice for discerning buyers seeking both style and comfort. The second car on our list is Lincoln Continental Mark IV. The 5th time Lincoln made the Continental, they did something new. They called it the Mark for the first time and made it as a fancy 4-door car. This was also when they gave the car a big makeover, making it smaller than before. But even with the change in size, it still had a high price, making the Mark IV one of the fanciest and most expensive American cars you could buy in the 80s. The Mark series first appeared in 1956 as a fancy 2-door car made by the Lincoln part of Ford. By the time the 1980s rolled around, the Continental had changed into a 4-door sedan packed with luxury. It was the 5th version of the Continental Mark, and it kept some of the classic looks from the older models, like the fancy front grille and lights that you couldn't see until they turned on. There were different versions of the Continental Mark IV, including a really fancy one called the Signature Series. I know some of you are wondering, how about the Imperial? The Imperial came out in 1981 with cool new things like a digital dashboard, 2 years of free maintenance, and electronic fuel injection. Frank Sinatra, a famous singer and Iacocca's friend, even promoted the car for free, and in return, got the first one made. Sadly, the fuel injection system often broke down, leaving many cars, including Sinatra's, unable to run properly. Chrysler had to fix this by replacing it with an older-style carburetor for everyone who bought an Imperial. It's intriguing how the price of the Imperial fluctuated in the early 1980s, with adjustments made to try to boost sales. Comparing it to competitors like the Cadillac Seville and Lincoln Continental provides context. The 1982 model, priced around $60,300 today, faced stiff competition despite its luxury features. With today's price sitting at $68,500, it's clear the market dynamics have evolved since then. Moving on the next car, it's known for its stunning look and long 14-year run, is a big favorite. The 3rd version of the Corvette, it got the nickname Coca-Cola Corvette because of its unique shape that looks like a Coke bottle. Though it started strong in 1968, cars made after 1971 weren't as powerful due to new pollution rules. This Corvette is loved for its classic look and its place in car history, even though its power dipped in later years. It reminds people of how the Corvette adapted and stayed popular over the years. People love this Corvette for its cool design and powerful V8 engine, making it a blast to drive. It's also a treasure for collectors because it's a special part of Corvette's story. However, being an older car means it might need more repairs, and the inside might feel a bit old-fashioned compared to new cars. Plus, it might not be as comfy or easy to handle as newer sports cars. In 1989, buying this Corvette meant spending over $31,000 for a car with a strong 5.7-liter V8 engine that could go really fast, hitting 60 miles per hour in just over 5 seconds. It came with nice things like air conditioning, a stereo, and power windows and steering. Now, this next car has earned a special place in the hearts of collectors. I'm talking about the Cadillac Allure, produced from 1987 to 1993, aimed to rival the Mercedes-Benz ESL With its convertible style, detachable aluminum roof, V8 engine, and stylish Italian design by Pininfarina. However, despite its promising features, the Allure fell short due to some drawbacks. It used front-wheel drive, unlike its competitors, and its digital dashboard was hard to read in bright sunlight. The V8 engine lacked power and reliability compared to modern engines, and the high price, partly due to expensive manufacturing methods, made it a tough sell for a brand not yet seen on par with Mercedes or Jaguar. Cadillac tried to address these issues over time, swapping the digital dashboard for traditional dials in 1990 and making some extras optional to lower the price. The introduction of a better Northstar V8 engine in 1993 was a last effort to improve the Allure's reputation, but by then it had already suffered. The 1987 model stands out as the most expensive when adjusted for inflation, with a starting price of $54,700, equivalent to $129,621. Now, opening our top 6 today is the Lincoln Versailles. The Lincoln Versailles was like a fancier version of the Ford Granada, sharing the same size and shape. Even though it was the smallest Lincoln back then, it still had a higher price than other Lincolns. It could cost up to $12,500 in 1980, depending on what extras you wanted. Under the hood, it had a Ford Windsor V8 engine that could produce 135 horsepower at 3,200 rounds per minute and 275 pound-feet of torque at 1,600 rounds per minute. But not many people bought it, and better cars from other companies made it hard for the Versailles to stay on the market after 1980. Let's talk about the 1980 Cadillac Seville, a real classic beauty. This car was a big shift from the usual Fleetwood models, sporting a sleek and modern look. It raised the bar for luxury cars, stealing hearts with its bold appearance and clever features like front-wheel drive, electronic level control, four-wheel disc brakes, and independent suspension. It was quite pricey back in the 80s, costing $16,662. The Seville had a fresh aerodynamic shape with a windshield that was flush with the body, reducing annoying wind noise. Plus, it boasted a sturdy rear bumper that was all in one piece. This new design and front-wheel drive made the car handle nicely and offered more space inside without the usual floor hump. Overall, the Seville was a perfect mix of classic charm and modern power, setting a new standard for American cars. Back in 1975, GM introduced the Cadillac Seville as a regular sedan with 4 doors. But in 1980, they switched things up. This time, it had a unique bustleback design inspired by fancy English cars from the 1950s. The Seville came with some cool features for its time, like memory seats, a heated outside mirror, and a digital dashboard. People loved it, and GM made about 190,000 before introducing a new version in 1986. How can this list be complete without the 1980 Jeep Grand Wagoneer, a true classic? You might know it from Breaking Bad. It's that awesome car. Almost everyone recognizes this beauty on the road. Here's something interesting. When Chrysler took over AMC in 1987, they had other priorities, so they didn't give the Grand Wagoneer a makeover. Surprisingly, the SJ platform it was built on had been around since 1963. That's a whopping 29 model years, almost double the lifespan of the Crown Victoria. But Chrysler didn't just leave it as is. The 1989 models and later, which are considered the best and most valuable, got some awesome upgrades like wood siding, sleeker alloy wheels, an electrocoat primer for better rust protection, and even an electric sunroof. Inside, they added an overhead console borrowed from Chrysler's popular minivans. Even after all those years, with only subtle changes on the outside, the Grand Wagoneer still sold well and made Chrysler a lot of money. And today, these Jeeps can fetch a pretty penny. In fact, some models can go for as much as $57,000. Thanks for joining us on this journey through the fascinating world of 1980s luxury cars. We hope you enjoyed learning about these iconic vehicles and the era that shaped them. Now, here's a question to ponder. If you could own any classic car from the 1980s, which one would it be and why? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more exciting content. Until next time, drive safe and keep exploring.